Greetings, NAIFA-Indiana. I'm Daniel Stallings, president of NAIFA-Indiana, and your host for the summer edition of NAIFA-Indiana Update, your video newsletter. We are saddened by the passing of two long-standing members, Jerry Semler and Gary Schliessman. They were both very active in NAIFA-Indiana, and we will miss them terribly. We also mourn the loss of Thelma Peckinpah, the widow of member Jack Peckinpah. Our thoughts and prayers are with their families. This edition of NAIFA-Indiana Update is sponsored by NAIFA-Indiana Trustee and Communications Committee Chair Chris Barnhouse. Chris, thank you for sponsoring NAIFA-Indiana Update.
Daniel, it's my pleasure. As you know, I've been specializing in long-term care solutions for more than 20 years. And for more than half that time, I've devoted a lot of my efforts to educating financial services professionals across the state on long-term care issues and advocating for the industry at the state and local and national level. I'm pleased to report that my advocacy efforts have influenced the Indiana General Assembly to pass several laws that have benefited the state, industry professionals, and consumers alike. But what I want to focus on now is my education mission. This year, I taught the 5-hour long-term care recertification course in Upland for NAIFA-Indiana Salomonia affiliate and for NAIFA-Indiana during its quarterly in-person and online CE last month. This is a class I've taught across the state for a number of years, and NAIFA-Indiana can offer it at different locations as well. All you have to do is call me or Sandy Gray at the numbers on your screen to arrange it. The only thing I ask is that you guarantee attendance of at least 8 people. I don't charge for my services, and I don't even ask for mileage to cover my expenses. I also teach 1-hour continuing education classes to industry groups. Topics available include how to develop a long-term care insurance case. Your application has been declined for long-term care insurance, now what? Long-term care insurance, the essential element. How long-term care disrupts estate plans, and long-term care insurance market update. I have presented these classes to many organizations, including NAIFA-Indiana, the Society of Financial Services Professionals, estate planning councils, professional insurance agents associations, and CPA and law firms. The only cost is for the recipients to cover the CIRCON fees. Just give me a 60-day notice so I can file the updated lesson plan with the Department of Insurance and get the class approved by them. I also make myself available to consult on long-term care cases and to do joint work. I am licensed with most companies and for most products. There's no charge for consultation. I do it all the time. I consider it a professional courtesy. And it's a great honor to me if you think enough of me to call me with questions. Joint work involves more participation from me in fact-finding, solution design, application, and underwriting. For that, I expect a reasonable portion of any commissions, which we would agree upon in advance. My goal is to educate sufficient financial services professionals about the importance of long-term care planning that the information is made available to all our citizens. It is my profound belief that every American should have the ability to age with dignity, and proper long-term care planning as a part of every retirement plan is the only way to achieve it. Again, if you want to schedule a class or consult with me on a long-term care case or just discuss some ideas about long-term care planning, give me a call or email me.
Chris, thanks for your sponsorship. Chris's reputation as an expert in long-term care solutions is without equal in the state. I personally attended his 5-hour recertification class and thought it was the best long-term care insurance class I've attended. I encourage our members to avail themselves of Chris's services. The weather the last few months has been unusually hot, but it hasn't slowed down your professional association a bit. We've been hard at work advocating for and educating our members and helping you all differentiate yourselves from the competition. This past May, we brought the full power of our advocacy to bear with 12 of our members joining more than 600 NAIFA members across the country for the NAIFA Congressional Conference. We met with every member of the Indiana Congressional Delegation or their staff to explain NAIFA's position on pending legislation. When NAIFA shows up, we are a powerful voice in the industry. It is through direct, face-to-face communication with our elected officials that NAIFA is able to protect the interests of our members and our clients. We expect to follow up on the Congressional Conference by meeting with our congressional representatives here at home while the House is in recess and they are home for constituent visits. We will be scheduling as many visits with our representatives as we can. I encourage you to participate and to attend their town hall meetings as well. In July, we held our annual golf outing at the Golf Club of Indiana. It was a great event, and here to tell you about it is the event chair, Joe Serta.
Thanks, Daniel. Once again, we held our annual golf outing. It was a wonderful day at Golf Club of Indiana. Great golf course, great venue. We had 15 teams that participated, probably about a half a dozen volunteers, and it turned out to be a wonderful, great event for us. We are still tabulating the results, but it turned out to be a profitable event for us, and I want to thank everybody that was involved in this, both from the sponsors, the players, as well as the volunteers. These are the types of events that allow us to sponsor benefits for our members, so thank you all again.
Thank you, Joe. You always do a great job with the golf outing. It was a great fundraiser for NAIFA-Indiana and a great time for our members.
You're welcome.
As we wrap up summer and head into fall, NAIFA-Indiana continues to deliver value to our members, starting with August 29th and 30th when we hold our annual NAIFA-Indiana Summit in Fort Wayne at the Grand Wayne Convention Center and the Hilton Fort Wayne. We will start with our state association and annual meeting at the Ash Brokerage headquarters in the afternoon on Tuesday, August 29th. That evening, we'll be taking a trolley ride to the elegant Bergstaff Place Event Center for a reception and our annual awards banquet. The following day, we will have a full day of outstanding speakers and CE credits. This will include Andrew Rinn on economic split dollar life insurance, Erica Badiak and Justin Reinig on the 2024 Medicare marketing rules, Mike McLaughlin on opportunities in the Secure Act 2.0, a congressional legislation which NAIFA successfully lobbied for, by the way, world-renowned Joe Jordan on prospering in a post-COVID world, and Thomas Wyatt on business succession planning. Please go to our website and find out more about this great lineup of speakers. We'll also have representatives from many companies there to help you learn about their products and services and how they can help you expand your businesses and better serve your clients. Many of our out-of-town members will be staying at the Fort Wayne Hilton. NAIFA-Indiana has arranged for a discounted rate, but only for a limited time. Please click on this link in the video to register for the summit and to make a reservation at the Hilton. I look forward to seeing all of you there. Of course, the highlight of the summit is always the awards dinner and the presentation of the Jack Peckinpah Associate of the Year Award. This year's recipient is NAIFA-Indiana's past president, Joe Serta. Joe, welcome to NAIFA-Indiana Update and congratulations on this much-deserved award.
Thank you, Daniel. Pleasure to be here.
The Peckinpah Award recognizes an outstanding professional for their contributions in personal production, community leadership, and industry involvement. And I can think of no one better than Joe Serta. Joe, congratulations. I know you're a humble servant to this association. Tell us what it means for you to be recognized with the Jack Peckinpah Award.
Well, it's not like a sales award.
Right.
It's not crossing the finish line with so many numbers behind you. This one actually recognizes the work that you do, and the recognition actually comes from your peers. It means more.
So Joe, I know a little bit about you, your background. You grew up in California wine country.
Yeah, I did.
That's a long way to this industry. So tell us just a little bit about what brought you into the industry.
Circuitous route. I did grow up in the Napa Valley in California. Went to UC Davis. Originally was thinking about becoming a winemaker. Then 600 folks showed up to a class that normally holds 20. And at that time I thought, I don't want to deal with this. I think I better move on. I had a lot of science in my background and my training, and basically stayed within the area of agriculture, but added business and economics classes. Was picked up by corporate America in agriculture and moved out to the Midwest and held several positions. Wound up here in Indianapolis as a district manager at that time. So
you decided not to do winemaking. You decided to do something light, which was biochemical engineering and stuff like that.
Kind of, yeah.
and ended up here. Well, we are certainly the benefactors of that path that brought you here at this point. So, Joe, from all of that, tell us what brought you into this industry?
I'd had an interest in this industry from the side, and I really was not all that happy in a corporate environment, to be honest with you. I was more entrepreneurial. And it took a number of years to recognize that and to make the decision that I wanted to look at moving over to this industry. So finished up or started my MBA over at IU, finished it up there, and then looked at finding a position within this industry at that time. So.
Outstanding. Very good. Joe, I know that you've been very involved in the industry. Tell us a little bit about why is it important for you to have been this active in your professional association?
Well, to be quite honest, for probably the first 10 years I wasn't. I was just a member. I got a lot of value out of the CE sessions. To me, that's where professional development and growth occurred. And it exposed me to different parts of the industry. And I knew that it was much bigger than the area that I was working in. And I really appreciated the fact that you could be introduced to different ideas, different organizations, and to see really what the opportunity was within this industry. After a while, and still I was not involved at all. I was just a member and just stayed at that, showed up at the CE sessions. It wasn't until the current position that I have as a brokerage director, I started attending meetings more for exposure for myself, but in doing so, learned more about it. And also, the longer you're in this industry, the more you realize that, especially if the industry's been good to you, it's your turn to give back.
Yeah, and you have certainly done that, and we appreciate that. One of the other ways that you've given back is you've been a very generous supporter of NAIFA-PAC, and we appreciate that. Can you talk a little bit about why is it important to you to participate and to give back through NAIFA-PAC?
You need to see what NAIFA National as well as NAIFA-Indiana does in order to become convinced that you need to be more involved in that area. Other than hearing folks talking about, we've done this for you, for this industry, to me those were just words going in one ear and out the other. It wasn't until I actually went on a congressional conference
to DC.
And I actually saw what was being done. I mean, NAIFA National has the professional lobbying organization to make us look very good and be very effective in talking to our legislators, right. But really the strength comes from its members. Once I saw that, you just knew you needed to step up.
The trips to the Indiana State House and the trips to Washington, D.C., to Capitol Hill, seeing the advocacy in action really brings that, one of our core values of advocacy at the legislative level to heart.
And not only that, but the more you go, the more you see. There's a lot that I missed the first time. The second and third time, you pick up different reasons for why things are being done certain ways and why you say certain things when you have an audience with legislators. It's only after you go several times. Not only that, but you actually develop relationships with legislators. They recognize your face. They know who you are. They start just socializing and talking with you while you're there. So it very productive. I thoroughly enjoyed participating in those events.
Well, Joe, thank you for your leadership to NAIFA, NAIFA-Indiana, and the Professional Association. We appreciate that very much, and we will be really honored to be able to recognize you at the Jack Peckinpah Awards Banquet in Fort Wayne in August.
Well, thank you. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you.
While the summit is the highlight of our year, NAIFA-Indiana doesn't slow down or even take a break afterwards. We have a full calendar of continuing education events coming up. September 21st, we will mark Life Insurance Awareness Month with our quarterly
half-day CE session on topics including myths versus realities about life insurance, Medicare, and who owns your life insurance policy. We'll follow that up with our October 19th Zoom CE on the greatest income gap, asset-based long-term care insurance. Go to our NAIFA-Indiana website or click on the link below to learn more about all of our upcoming events and how to register for them. And in November, several key leaders from NAIFA-Indiana will attend the National Leadership Conference in Washington, D.C. We'll share our ideas and concerns with our national leaders and gather information to bring back to you about the direction we're heading as a national professional association. I'm also happy to announce an exciting new member benefit. Your professional association has been working with MassMutual to offer guaranteed issue whole life insurance to our members as an additional benefit. In the last edition of NAIFA-Indiana Update, Chad Bozell of MassMutual outlined the program and its benefits to our members. In July, your Board of Trustees approved the program, and we are taking the final steps for implementation. Joining us again to go over the program and explain our next steps is Chad Bozell. Chad, welcome back to NAIFA-Indiana Update.
Thank you, Daniel. It's always a pleasure.
Chad, could you please summarize the basics of the group whole life insurance offering for our members?
Absolutely, Daniel. It's a great opportunity. We are going to offer the members a guaranteed issue permanent whole life product that has the amount of $150,000 of guaranteed issue whole life with a long-term care type of coverage that is included in the plan. And we're going to kick that off in August at the state convention. I will be there to talk a little bit more about the details of it. And then we will, at that point in time, start scheduling appointments with our enrollment partner to have everybody have the opportunity to hear about the product and then move forward in purchasing it.
And Chad, is it my understanding that this benefit is also available to spouses of members? Is that correct?
Absolutely. Spouses and dependents will be eligible for this product.
Outstanding. Thank you very much. We are looking forward to bringing this benefit to our members. We appreciate that. Chad, since September is Life Insurance Awareness Month, this great benefit is an opportunity for our members. Tell us how that will work for them.
Yes, during September, they'll have the opportunity to go to a link or a QR code to schedule an appointment with one of our counselors that will talk to them in the first couple of weeks of October. So they'll have all of Life Insurance Awareness Month to be able to schedule their appointment and then talk to one of our counselors in October for an effective date of 11/1.
Outstanding. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to working with you. And just a reminder, MassMutual will have a booth at the summit in Fort Wayne at the end of August, so our members can get more information and ask your questions. Thanks, Chad, so much. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Here with our monthly sales tip is this edition's sponsor, Chris Barnhouse. Welcome back to NAIFA-Indiana Update, Chris.
Thanks for having me, Daniel. My sales tip, as you may guess, centers around your knowledge of long-term care insurance and retirement planning to get the attention of a prospect. You call a prospect. Maybe they're a referral, maybe they're a cold call, maybe there's just someone you met at the golf outing. You call them, they answer, and you say, "Hi, I'm so-and-so from XYZ Company, and I'd like to drop by, share a cup of coffee with you, and tell you a little bit about my business." Their response, "I already have a financial advisor." Do they? Maybe, maybe not. They're usually really busy, and you have to get their attention by telling them something they haven't heard before. You say, "Well, Mr. Prospect, I'd expect someone in your position to have several advisors. I just like the opportunity to audition to be one of them. While I have you on the phone, can I ask you a quick question?" Response, "Okay," but make it short. You say, "Mr. and Ms. Prospect, I'd like to ask you if your advisor has gone over your Social Security statement with you." Response, "Yes, he has." Has he? Probably, but they probably only went over the numbers section that quantifies the benefits that he or she will receive based on earnings so far. Your response, "I'm glad to hear that." There's some very important information on that statement that's often missed. When your advisor went over your Social Security statements with you, what did they tell you about the warnings contained in it? Prepare for a short, maybe long pause before the response, "What warnings?" You respond, well, that's a lengthier conversation than either of us would care to have over the phone, but I'd love to come by your office or meet you over a cup of coffee at your convenience to show and explain them to you. And if you want some special attention from your financial advisors, tell them about an idea you got from a different advisor. Would you object to spending a few minutes with me for that purpose? What reasonable person would refuse such an offer? When you go, take a copy of a Social Security statement with you and download the Social Security Trust Fund report. Show the prospects the trust fund report that says when Social Security and Medicare run out of money. Tell them this information used to be on the first page of their Social Security statement, but CMS quit putting it there because it got to looking so bad. Explain when Social Security runs out of money, they won't quit paying benefits. They'll just cut payments by an estimated 25 to 30%. Ask them if their advisors have shown them a plan to address this problem. This opens up a discussion about deferred annuities and qualified longevity annuity contracts. Then show them the statement on page 4 that says Medicare does not pay for long-term care. You should consider private insurance options. Ask what options their advisors have discussed with them. Chances are they haven't discussed any with them at all. This is the opportunity to set a time for a longer meeting to educate them on the risk of long-term care and their many solutions. Always put the prospect at ease by telling them, I'll show you some ideas and you are free and encouraged to discuss them with your advisors. I just want to be on your team. The key here is to differentiate yourself by providing your prospects information they didn't get from their other advisors, because most financial advisors only want to talk about the good things that can happen if you invest well. They don't want to talk about the bad things that can happen even if you invest well, and how to avoid those pitfalls by offsetting the risk.
Thank you, Chris. You've shown that to me before, and it's always been a great door opener. This concludes our summer edition of NAIFA-Indiana Update. Thank you for giving me the honor of serving as your president. I look forward to getting together with you all at the summit in Fort Wayne, August 29th and 30th. I hope you'll join us at the summit, because together we can take on anything.